Well, scientists say the sun released a huge blast of radiation on Monday that they expect to hit Earth throughout the weekend, and it could affect everything from power grids to cell phone signals. The technical term for it is coronal mass ejection, and it looks similar to this video from NASA. Researchers say over the next few days there is a 20 to 40% chance the blast could disrupt radio transmissions, GPS systems, even the power to your home. Similar solar eruptions can also fill the skies with spectacular sights like the Northern Lights. Joining us now, FoxNews.com science and technology editor Jeremy Kaplan. And Jeremy, no shock here, but I don't get it. How does the weather on the sun affect us here on Earth?
Well, it's simple geophysics. I mean, anyone with an elementary degree in astrophysics could understand. I kid. Basically what's going on is a wave of solar particles has been ejected from the sun millions of miles away at millions of miles per hour. But because it's such a big thing, because it's so far away, it actually does affect things that happen here on the Earth. So it affects radios, as you were mentioning, cell phone radios. It affects GPSs. It affects the power grid as well. This is actually a relatively small one, even though it's, fairly tremendous on a planetary scale. What's interesting, though, is we're coming up towards what they're calling a peak in the sun's activities.
Yeah.
So over the next couple of years, by peaking in 2013, we're going to see actually substantially more of this activity, bigger ones that are definitely going to be affecting things here on Earth.
Yeah, I was reading about this a couple of days ago, Jeremy, and they kept saying, oh, no, it could be bad, could knock out your cell phones, could knock out GPS, a lot of that stuff. And as it gets closer, they started saying, well, maybe it's not that bad. It's kind of a Y2K-ish fear thing, right? Or could this actually knock your cell phone out for a few seconds or a minute?
Well, it definitely could. It absolutely could. You're right. They did downgrade this. They said at first 20 to 40% chance that it would affect things here on Earth. Now they're saying really only 20% chance. And anybody who has cell phone service knows these things tend to go up and down anyway. I feel like my cell phone service is never really that reliable to begin with. But that said, yes, this could affect cell phone service. And again, as we see larger and larger ones, this was an M class and a lower M class flare. As we see bigger ones, it's definitely going to affect those systems. Something that NASA has really been studying and working on and trying to figure out ways that we can avoid this sort of problem.
Yeah, I was reading this. It's kind of interesting. It says that experts say the sun's increased activity, Jeremy, is part of an 11-year cyclical pattern. That's according to space.com. Does that mean that over the next 11 years it's going to get worse, or are we kind of in the midst of that 11-year cycle?
It's like a big wave. Halfway through that 11-year cycle, we hit the high point. That's 2013. That's just around the corner. So we've been talking for the past couple of months about the increased number of these things. We've seen several of the X class, the highest magnitude solar flares, just in the past year. We're going to see a lot more next year, peaking in 2013. So this is really something that's very imminent. And the fact that it could have a dramatic effect on the power grid is one that really has most people worried. If all of a sudden you can't get power signals, if it blows out the transmitters, and all of a sudden we have a hard time repairing the power grid, that's going to be a real issue that's definitely going to affect people. So cell phones, yes, I'm worried about that. I'm more concerned about the potential down the line here.
Very easily explained, Jeremy Kaplan. Good of you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, the chimpanzee's sidekick from the Tarzan movies died. Or did it?